So we're thinking about ratios here, okay? So when you think of a ratio or the ratio here in our notes, you can go ahead and follow along and make your notes kind of match these notes. So the ratio is the relationship of two numbers, right? So when we're thinking about a ratio, of two numbers. Okay, so a ratio in kind of its most basic form is simply a comparison statement. Okay, so you're taking one number, one amount of something, and you're comparing it to another amount of something. So it's a comparison statement or describing the relationship of two numbers. So, for example, you've got two flashlights. All right, let's just say we have two. We've got two flashlights here and we've got 5 batteries, okay? So if we wanna compare the ratio here, let's compare the ratio, between the flashlights, well, um, the flashlights and the batteries, we are going to make sure that what we create is, a division problem. So we're going to divide the set of flashlights with the set of batteries. Okay, so we're going to take our flashlights and we're going to divide it by our batteries. Flashlights to batteries. Okay, so what we're going to conclude here is that the ratio, right, of flashlights to batteries can be decided here. We're getting away with no labels. We're just saying the ratio is 2 to 5. And we're getting away with no labels because we've already described that it's flashlights to batteries. Okay. So we can describe it as 2 to 5, or you can describe it as 2 to 5. You can use a colon to say the word two mathematically, or you can say it as 2 to 5 and use a fraction bar. On the computer, it's oftentimes just a slash. If you are writing it, you can also write 2 to 5, kind of, in fraction form going up and down. So the ratio, or sorry, all of these describe the ratio in different forms of fractions. They're all a type of fraction, 2 to 5 in words, 2 to 5 in colon form, 2 to 5 in fraction bar form. The ratio can be expressed as a fraction in any of those three forms, or it can also be expressed in decimal form. And what happens here is we want to remember that a fraction is simply a division problem. A fraction bar means divide. So when we set up our division problem here, we'll take our flashlights and we are going to say flashlights 2 divided by our batteries, 5. And so we have a division problem. We can use what we know about dividing, especially with decimals here, because we say, how many times does 5 fit into 2? Well, it doesn't. But if we make this a 2.0, same value as 2, different look, we can bring up the decimal and now treat this like a 20. How many times does 5 fit into 20? Well, it fits 4 times evenly. There's nothing left over. So now we know that this can be described in decimal form. 2 to 5 ratio can be described in decimal form as 0.4.